Well, let's talk about Cain Velasquez. If you're not familiar with who Cain Velasquez is, he is one of the greatest UFC MMA heavyweight champions to ever grace the octagon, period. He's MMA royalty, future Hall of Famer, great coach, great teammate, just a legend in the sport. And to be a heavyweight champion in the UFC, you have to be a savage, disciplined man. That's why I tell you guys, these predators, they don't give a fuck who it is. You always listen to your kids. Some of these sick motherfuckers are such cowards. They get off on hurting people like Cain's son because they know that they would never, ever do anything to that man in real life. It's the only little bit of power they get to hurt a little kid. That's why when these cowards, these serial killers, these thrill kills, these chomos go to prison, they become the victims because they're no longer able to handle anything. They don't kill anymore. They don't hurt anymore. They just play the victim. You know why? Because now you're around a bunch of savage men filled with hate and anger and want to fuck you up and kill you for what you did. That's why they hide and run to PC and get killed every single time. They offend on the streets hundreds and hundreds of times. In prison, they're running for their life, getting stabbed, getting just completely tortured. Anyway, fast forward. So Cain's son is 4 years old. He's at the daycare. And, they knew something was off for a long time, but eventually, they start to talk to him and he breaks down and tells their family some very, very horrific stuff. And it comes out that the kid said about 100 times this guy had touched him. And obviously I'm paraphrasing what the 4-year-old said, but you always trust your kids. I have a son close to that age, and I don't care what anybody says, what the fuck they try to make me out to be. If my son tells me something, he's being honest, because he will never just speak the most horrific shit for no reason. Too many people try to make you look crazy for going to war for your kids, or they'll try to cover their own social status and their look to other people to try to hide what's really going on. Fuck that. You go to war every single time. You document everything, and if you have to take it to the next level, you do whatever it takes to protect your kids, always. So once they start talking to the son, he basically finds out that a man at the daycare, the owner's son, has been basically doing the worst to his son and many other kids. They question the man. He says, "Oh man, no, I didn't do nothing. I wrestled with the kid, bop, bop, bop." They find enough evidence, they lock his ass up. Now, there's protocol, especially with a chomo like this, and you have a very, very dangerous man. Not a crazy man, not a psycho man, but a very dangerous man who loves his family, named Cain Velasquez. And the protocol is, anytime someone is convicted of these crimes, mandatory, they put in a injunction and they notify the parents. The parents go to court and it's all said in black and white, and there's rules and regulations, and they have their outlets to know who to call and talk to if this guy is anywhere near any place that any of these things have happened. But of course, what happens? The system always fails. Anytime a chomo piece of shit does this type of stuff, they just get away with it over and over until somebody gets killed. And they say, "Oh, we should change policy." So the dude gets out. Nobody even knew that. And that's why I say, anybody that hurts your family, track everything they do. Watch every place they go in jail. Know exactly where they're at. Know when their court dates are at. Know every single move they make. If you have any in your mind, just a hint of that they're anything, find out their job, their friends, their family, their cars, where they go, every single thing. For real. If they have the audacity to do the worst of the worst to your kids, or you suspect it, you find every single thing out about that person and you document everything. Anyway, so Cain is just doing his thing, and he finds out out of nowhere that the man is out. So in his mind, what the fuck? He's thinking that he just get released, And, because not everybody's like as savvy as I am as finding out information about certain crimes. So Cain snaps and he rolls up to where the guy's at, and he catches him kind of driving because he thinks this dude just got released. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on, because protocol is, we will let you know. And if he does get out, there will be an injunction hearing and you have a chance to speak on why he shouldn't get out. None of that happened. So Cain followed them. He sees him in the car driving. And it turns out in that car was his father-in-law and the fucking chomo piece of shit. And they're going to put the ankle monitor on him. Another violation. I don't know how these chomos get away with everything. I go and kick in the door of a drug dealer, I'm doing 6 years in prison. These motherfuckers are out within 2 weeks after doing the most heinous shit on kids, if they even get arrested. So of course, Cain is a man, a father. He's feeling the guilt, the pain, the pressure, the stress. And he says, motherfucker. And he rolls down on him. He's got his gun in his hand. He catches him on the road. It's his father-in-law and the chomo. And he just starts shooting at the car. Unfortunately, he missed the chomo and hits the father-in-law 3 or 4 times in the wrist. And I believe somewhere else in the arm, elbow maybe. Cain flees the scene. Eventually, he gets arrested for multiple counts of attempted murder with premeditation. Now he goes to jail for a year. Now, could you imagine that? They put this man in a position where he felt he had no other way but to protect his son, the vengeance, the anger, the shame, and seeing this chomo just get out and they didn't do anything of their protocol. What do you think a father's gonna do? So he's in there for a year and, he finally gets out on a bond and gets to court. And he pleads no contest to attempted murder. And remember, this chomo still is out, hasn't even been sentenced or nothing like that. Just whatever. Can you imagine that? And now Cain faces life in prison, but is most likely going to get anywhere from 8 to 12 years in prison. So the world we live in is where a man will go and risk his entire life to protect his son because they failed their procedures to tell a man to prevent this. The whole reason they have the procedures is to prevent this. The whole reason they put an ankle monitor on a chomo before he gets released is to prevent this. And this is why they have the victims and the families come to the hearings and the injunctions so they can say why he shouldn't be out or why he shouldn't be in the neighborhood. None of that. A motherfucker at daycare doing this to multiple kids and one of the greatest fighters of all time, son. And they thought it would be a good idea to fail and say, you know what, we won't follow protocol because they want the violence. They want the chaos. At least that's how I look at it. So now he's going to be away from his family for maybe a decade, maybe more, while this chomo just runs the streets. That's why I'm going to tell you guys like this. Anybody ever hurts your family and you feel that you're the only one that's taking control of the situation and you've tried everything, every way possible to protect your family, whatever it may be, and this evil, demonic motherfucker, this piece of shit is just not being taken care of. Document everything with the law. Listen to me. Everything. All their inconsistencies, everything you can find. But at the same time, you must protect your kid. You must record. You must know everywhere they're at, where they rest their head, every single thing. And every time something happens, put in for an injunction, put in for every little bit of evidence, put it into the courts. Just keep fighting and get this judge, that judge, or this lawyer. And if all else fails, you have to understand. I agree and understand what Cain did as a father. All of us would. But you only get one shot at it. So that vigilante justice where you just run and go crazy with it, I get it. I respect it. But you only get one shot at it. And if you fail, then you're gone for 10, 15, and that motherfucker's still out there. And he flips the script saying that, oh, you're crazy. No. You only get one shot at it. Get what I'm saying? So do everything you can legally. Everything you can document. Learn everything about this person from where he eats, where he shits, every single thing. But if you ever get put in a position where you have no choice but to protect your family, your kids, don't just do it out of emotion. You must be emotionless through the whole process. You only get one chance. One shot at the whole thing. Because time and time again, we will see the system fail and fail and fail until a kid gets killed or very hurt or there's just some real horrific shit going on or multiple victims. Then the system says, okay, we'll step it up. But it's too late. It's too late. So I respect Cain and I completely understand. I know the argument of people just can't run and start shooting in the streets, this and that. But my argument isn't that Cain did anything wrong. He just did it wrong. So I'm going to do anything it takes to ride for Cain and any petitions, any help he needs. I'm going to be there and try to use my platform to bring notice to this. Because too many times our kids are getting hurt and it's usually one parent that's advocating and fighting and going to war. And, not saying this with Cain, but this is too many times. And then it takes the kid to get hurt or killed or even worse, other kids get killed and hurt too. And they say, damn, we fucked up. Man, fuck that. Go to war every single time. Be good or be good at it. Stay out, stay free, and leave our kids alone. Us.